Hey guys, this is Tony with Inner Geek Designs. Today I'm back with another video. Today I want to talk about one of my newest features I'm really excited about in Affinity, the Live Trace tool. Live Trace or Image Trace, depending what you want to call it. I've called it both things because I know in Illustrator it switched a couple times of what it is, but in Affinity it's called Image Trace. Let's go through what this tool has to offer, what are some good use cases for it, how to use it, and overall just talk about it and see if it's a good stepping stone. It's still a new tool. It's still in development of like building it up, making it better. So let's go over it. If you learned something, if you like this, like and subscribe, and let's just hop into it. Here we are with Affinity. So I have some samples right here. I got some simple color logos, and I have a digital illustration that I've done. Let's go through how Live Trace works with all these and see what the tool settings work for. So most of the time when you're doing live tracing, image tracing, any of these types of tools, you usually want to do it with a black and white image. That's going to give you your best results. So to do this, we're going to go to Vector. We're going to go to Image Trace. This box will pop up now. These are the simple tools that are available for this. There's edge threshold, curve filter, and this is your preview settings. So by default, it's just previewing what you're seeing, what you get. If you want to do this, this will be your before and after. So if we slide this over, and we maybe do some slight changes. As you can see, this side is a lot more crisp and clean, where this way you still have that vector or that rasterized pixelation a little bit. So we can roughly see what that looks like. I'm also noticing that on this, these corners are rounding in here. So we can filter around with these settings or mess around with them, get them kind of close. I think that looks pretty good. So we're going to hit apply. Also this other one, it'll give you two screens. So if you're doing a bigger picture, you can kind of compare and contrast it and see what it looks like. I like just to do like this, hit apply. And now when I go down to my layers, I have my curves right here. It does make a white box outside, so you have to delete that. But outside of that, we now have a full vector one. Also, these white spots are also a white fill. So if you want to do this and make this an actual knockout with these white parts, you just have to go do that in with your offset or your shape builder tool, whichever one you want to use. Next, let's see how it works with full color. Specifically, I want to look at this one. I want to see what color looks like with color being overlapped on each other. Some image tracing tools have issues with color being next to each other and creating a separation that's not pleasant to look at. It creates like a small, thin white border, which is really just separation of the canvas showing. So let's take a look and see what it does with this one. We'll go to Vector. We'll go to Image Trace. And let's see if I can make it actually make that effect work. Okay, it's not happening here, which is good. But I am noticing that as I move this curve tolerance filter slider, that these images or these shapes are kind of losing their shape. But that looks about like what we had up there as well, so that's pretty good. It's kind of crazy that Illustrator has a lot more granular control, but this seems to be doing just as good with these simple objects, simple shapes, which I think is what majority of the time you're going to be using this tool for. Is, you know, you have a customer gave you a shape or a vector that they want to use for a logo or try to use for a logo, and it's not a vector, so you just throw it in here and get it and make it come out. So really solid tool. Let's try some fonts and see how it does with fonts. That's why I also have this here. Also, just a good thing to see how it does with white versus just light blue. Some image tools have a issue with that. Even Illustrator to this point still has an issue with that. So we'll go to Image Trace. And it looks like it's working pretty well. I'm looking at those X's. Those X's are a little bit too roundish. And we hit apply and we have it there. Now this is the tough one for any and all to do, is an image, especially with gradients, especially with overlapping colors and all that such. This is where Illustrator's granular control comes in handy. If you're trying to get a vector image to a vector and you just need it so it scales well, but you can hide some of the weirdness that this will create, That's where that granular control comes in. I don't know how well this is going to do when we only have 2 sliders really going, and that's all our control we have. So let's see how it's going to work. I'm not 100% sure how this will work either, so. We'll go to image trace. So, like I said, you see these light white strokes. This is that causing that issue. So let's increase the image threshold, or the edge threshold. As you can see, we have less of them now showing, but we're also losing detail. So if we increase this, we should be able to get some of that back, and now we should be able to back down a little bit. So to make that easier to look at, let's go to before and after. And let's see what detail we actually lost here. As you can see, we lost some of the gradient on the water. We also have this separation happening. I'm also noticing we've lost a lot of the ripples that is happening. We've lost a lot of that detail. Overall, besides that, it looks fine. Let's zoom in and see if there's anything else that I'm noticing. It looks like it's smoothed out a lot of the blur that was happening on the water, which is it's not the end of the world, but it is noticeable to have. I'm also noticing that like some of these weird lines are like not naturally supposed to happen. Like these are just fragments and artifacts that are happening. So, I think overall, the best use for this type of image trace, simple one color, solid color images. Like if you need an icon and you can't find it, you snag one off the interwebs and you modify it after you vectorize it. Great for this. Outside of that, I don't think it's there yet, but I'm glad to see Affinity's actually made it work. If you learned something, if you like something, like and subscribe. And leave a comment down below about what things do you want to learn about Affinity. And I'll see you guys next one. Bye.